So perhaps you're trying to hire new people for your company, or you're a candidate who's looking for a new role in the market. You'll probably be going through some sort of online remote hiring process. At Butter, as a remote first company, we have first-hand experience with building remote teams. We grew our team from 6 to 13 people, and we did it all remotely from our laptops and without even meeting a single candidate face to face. Along the journey, there were several key learnings that we made that I'd like to share with you today. Hi, I'm Adam from Butter, and this is a slice of butter where I talk about the challenges and experiences of building a startup. The first thing off the list is being able to assess the candidate's technical abilities. I really believe that technical questions and whiteboarding tests are broken. Well, the core of it is when you take a whiteboarding test to a remote environment, it can get pretty awkward. You have to do a lot of setup beforehand, and a lot of things can go wrong. Getting candidates to regurgitate sorting algorithms that they read on Interview Cake has little to no bearing on how good the candidate will be at their job. Being on the other side of the coin, however, as an employer, I totally get it. We need something to validate our candidates' technical skills. Cookie-cutter interview questions and whiteboarding tests are an easy, simple cut and paste strategy in order to scale your interview process. At Butter, we don't do whiteboarding tests because I don't believe they give us enough indicators in order to judge the candidate. Instead, we do very niche technical interviews with the candidate specific to our own stack. Now, these sort of questions help us understand the candidate's experience level, but they also give us an insight on how well the candidate's skills will translate into their real job. This approach is much more involved and probably needs a technical person to be in the interview. So in order to do this at Butter, we have set some pretty high filters before we even invite someone to interview. And this brings me to my next point. CVs are just not sufficient for remote hiring. It just doesn't tell us enough about the candidate. Hiring remotely means that we get applications from all around the world. And that means that in order to stand out, you need to somehow bleed through the noise. One of our first filters at Butter is a questionnaire that we use to get a lot more information about our candidates. In that questionnaire, we ask questions such as, what kind of impact do you want to have at Butter? And what are you most proud of? Essentially, we want to provide the opportunity for the candidate to put their best foot forward. Applications that include portfolios, side projects, and even open source contributions have an upper hand since we are able to assess your skill levels as well as what you're passionate in. As builders, we make projects for fun, which is pretty much how Butter got started. So in turn, we generally want to surround ourselves with people that are like-minded and want to build a lot of cool shit. Lastly, it can be really difficult to vet for trust and motivation during a remote hiring process. You lose a lot of the nuances and body language when you're talking to a person using the webcam. So trust is really important to us at Butter because we're a remote company. So it's important to establish that trust early on in the interview process. If you respect the candidate will in turn respect you back. Keep communication lines open and transparent. And the most important thing for us is to try and humanize the process a lot more. Interviewing online can already feel robotic and cold for a lot of candidates. And at Butter, we do our best to make sure that, you feel like you're talking to real humans. Now, I know that sounds really funny to say, like, of course they're talking to humans, but during my freelance days, there were a lot of times where I felt like I was being pushed around in some sterile mechanical funnel and talking to interviewers who really didn't care about who I was and what I was bringing to the table. There are, of course, cases where trust can be broken. Either the employer or the employee ghosts, or, a lot of empty promises are made during the interview. And if you don't have referrals to fall back on, it can be pretty difficult to determine whether, the candidate or the employer is telling you the truth. What we found successful was to do maybe a 1 or 2 week paid for project with the candidate in order to assess their skills further. Now this can be pretty costly in terms of money and time investment, so we only do this for candidates when they are at the final stage and we're pretty sure about them. Building a remote company can be really tough, but it's super rewarding being able to work with so many talented people from all around the world. I mean, remote hiring is the future, so it's crucial that businesses and candidates set the standards to get this right. If you're looking to hire remotely or you're looking for remote opportunities, I really hope that this video managed to help you with your process. We're also hiring at Butter, so please check the description down below to our careers page. And if you're applying to Butter, I wish you the best of luck and hopefully we can talk soon. My name's Adam from Butter, and this has been a slice of butter. Bye.